Machine amid so much turmoil. Now the president says the media is not his enemy, but the enemy of the American people.
Quiet, quiet.
At this hour, the reaction. And tonight, the reality. The president's still looking for a new national security advisor after firing General Flynn. And his choice for a replacement turning the president down. Also breaking at this hour, the worst storm in years hitting the American coast. Emergency evacuations, landslides, trees coming down on homes and buildings. The dramatic takedown, the man wandering the streets of an American city with a rifle firing shots. At one point, taking aim at the helicopter overhead. The close call after Harrison Ford and that 737. New tonight, the audio of Ford in his plane. And the victory, $100,000 and the surprising plan for that money. Who is our person of the week?
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Friday night. And we begin with a new line of attack from President Trump. 24 hours after his combative news conference at the White House, insisting he's accomplished more than any other president this early. Tonight, declaring the media is not his enemy, but the enemy of the American people. For a time today, it appeared the president was turning the page at a Boeing plant in South Carolina, talking about creating jobs, leaving the week's controversies behind. Among them, his new choice for National Security Advisor, Vice Admiral Bob Harward, who turned him down, citing personal reasons. Tonight, it would appear the president is now turning back to his campaign playbook. But will it work now that he's president? ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega tonight.
The president in South Carolina today touring the Boeing plant and sounding like he'd turned a page talking up jobs.
My focus has been all about jobs. And jobs is one of the primary reasons I'm standing here today as your president, and I will never, ever disappoint you, believe me.
But soon he was back to where he was just 24 hours ago, tweeting a full-on declaration of war with the media, saying the fake news media, failing New York Times, CNN, NBC News, and many more, is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people. Sick. Later revising the end of that tweet to remove the word sick and adding ABC and CBS News. It follows that 77-minute-long press conference.
Quiet, quiet, quiet.
When the president lashed out at the media.
The leaks are absolutely real. The news is fake because so much of the news is fake.
Taking aim at individual reporters. And this moment.
Are you going to include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as...
Am I going to include
Are
who?
you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would. I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
I'm just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go set up
right
a
now.
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great.
Tonight, the Society of Professional Journalists tweeting an attack on a free press by a sitting U.S. president is a slap in the face to democracy, our country's founders, and the American people. The attacks flying after a week of turmoil in the White House. He is insisting it's a fine-tuned machine, but this week, one of President Trump's cabinet nominees forced to withdraw, and his national security advisor fired for lying about conversations with Russia. The president said he had a replacement waiting in the wings. That job offered to retired Admiral and former Navy SEAL Robert Harward, but he refused it, publicly citing family reasons. And now another controversy, the White House adamantly denying that it is behind a controversial Department of Homeland Security draft memo on immigration. The document obtained by the Associated Press gives the National Guard sweeping and unprecedented authority, calling on troops to perform the functions of an immigration officer in relation to the investigation, apprehension, and detention of undocumented immigrants. They would be on patrol in 11 states, not just along the border, but as far north as Oregon and as far east as Louisiana. A senior Department of Homeland Security official tells ABC News that while Kelly's name is on the memo, he never saw it. The draft was in the very early stages, and the current version has no plan to use the National Guard for immigration enforcement.
And Cecilia Vega with us here in New York tonight. And tomorrow, President Trump, Cecilia, is going to hold a campaign rally, a rally for re-election?
Yeah, his team is making it very clear, David, this is not a White House event. This is a campaign event. We are talking for his re-election bid just 28 days into his presidency, David. And if what we've seen today is any indication, it's safe to say we will probably see
more attacks on the media.
All right, Cecilia Vega leading us off tonight. Cecilia, thank you. President Trump, meanwhile, is already in Florida tonight at his Mar-a-Lago resort for the third weekend in a row. Coast Guard boats are on duty there in Palm Beach, along with the Secret Service and local security. Tonight, after the president criticized his predecessor for golfing and costing taxpayers money for his trips, how much is the new president costing taxpayers? ABC's Mary Bruce is at Mar-a-Lago tonight.
President Trump tonight back in Palm Beach, Florida, for the third weekend in a row visiting his sprawling beach resort.
You Winter White House in Mar-a-Lago.
Trump often attacked President Obama for wasting money on travel, tweeting Barack Obama's vacation is costing taxpayers millions of dollars.
You know, he plays more golf than people that play professionally on the PGA Tour. It's crazy. I never saw a guy play golf like that. I never saw a guy play golf. He plays a lot of golf.
But President Trump has already played golf at least twice in Florida his first month in office.
President Trump for the birdie.
Including with the Prime Minister of Japan. In the early days of his presidency, a time he's being tested, critics are pouncing on these pictures. The president and prime minister huddling with aides after North Korea's missile test, in full view of resort guests who posted on Facebook. There have been lighter moments, too. The president dropping by a wedding.
I've been members of this club for a long time. They pay me a fortune.
Later posing with the bridesmaids. While the administration won't provide dollar figures, in 2013, just one presidential trip to the Palm Beach area cost taxpayers around $3 million.
The taxpayer's on the hook every time the president flies to Mar-a-Lago, every time the president uses Air Force One.
The local government is paying a price. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office estimates they spend $60,000 in overtime each day President Trump is in the area.
So we're approaching the property, and you can see there are barricades on either side of the roads, police cars stationed everywhere. There's Coast Guard out here in the water. The place is like a fortress.
Candidate Trump once said, "I would rarely leave the White House because there's so much work to be done." And the administration insists these trips to Mar-a-Lago are working weekends.
While in Florida, he'll hold meetings and calls with advisors and staff to plan for another big week of action on behalf of the American people.
And Mary Bruce is live in West Palm Beach tonight. And Mary, taxpayers are footing the bill for the president's trips to Florida. And then here in New York City, where the First Lady Melania Trump is taking care of their son Barron while he goes to school here, there's also a huge security presence to protect the first family in the Trump Tower here in New York.
David, to protect the president's family, the New York Police Department is spending $500,000 a day in taxpayer money. David.
Mary Bruce with us again tonight. Mary, thank you. Meantime, back in Washington, the Senate confirming another controversial cabinet pick. Scott Pruitt to head the Environmental Protection Agency, an agency he sued 14 times as Oklahoma's Attorney General. Democrats had asked to delay the vote after learning a judge has now ordered Pruitt to release thousands of emails he exchanged with oil and gas executives. Those emails will be released next week. They were hoping to see those emails before the vote. Tonight, he's now been confirmed with a vote of 52 to 46. Next tonight, to the other breaking news at this hour, the dangerous storm slamming a huge part of the American coastline in the west. 20 million Americans in the threat zone tonight, the worst storm to hit that region in years. Rain and mud stopping traffic on California's 101, rushing water raging through this neighborhood near Santa Barbara. And strong winds in Oakland ripping away part of a roof there. Emergency evacuations underway in some places already as they also watch America's tallest dam tonight. ABC's Kana Whitworth from California.
Tonight in the West, millions are in the crosshairs of what could be the most powerful storm in years.
Oh, there goes the tree.
There goes Tom. Oh, the whole mountain was sliding.
The saturated ground already giving way east of San Bernardino, threatening several homes and a fire station. The so-called atmospheric river now flowing straight to Southern California. Damaging winds toppling huge trees, gusting above 60 miles an hour in some areas. In Santa Barbara County, this eucalyptus tree crashing into a carport. Residents racing to secure homes and stock up.
Everybody's just getting prepared.
Flash flooding and debris flow, the biggest threat. Authorities going door to door ordering mandatory evacuations in wildfire-scarred areas. Residents in some 200 homes in Duarte told to get out. More than 300 flights already canceled at Los Angeles area airports on a busy holiday travel weekend. To the north, near Salinas, big rigs overturning on Highway 101. And in Oroville, officials still monitoring that threatened dam. They say they've released enough water so it can handle new runoff from the storm.
David, burn areas like this one in Duarte are the biggest concern. We've already seen a mudslide right here, and now residents below are bracing, many choosing not to leave. They're hoping that the barriers like this one behind me and the ones around their homes hold up. David?
All right, Kana Whitworth with us tonight from California. Thank you, Kana. Let's turn to meteorologist Rob Marciano now tracking it all. He's in Seal Beach, California, where the winds already whipping. Hey, Rob. And as is often the case with the weather, the audio taking a hit. We'll check back in with Rob shortly. In the meantime, up the California coast tonight, a tense standoff in a neighborhood in Oakland. A man walking around with a rifle, taking shots, pointing his weapon at the news helicopter overhead. Then a police sharpshooter taking aim. And here's ABC's Neil Karlinski.
The first images from news helicopters were terrifying. A man sitting in the window of a home pointing a rifle outside.
Shots fired, shots fired. Male, white in with a rifle, blue sweater. He just shouted at us multiple times.
It was around 9 a.m. and callers were flooding 911 with reports that the man was shooting wildly.
This was a very dangerous situation.
At least one patrol car had bullet holes in the windshield, but police say none of their officers were hit.
Officer was driving down the street when he or she came under fire.
The man later walking out of the home, at one point clearly pointing his rifle at helicopters overhead. His behavior was bizarre, stopping and spray painting obscene graffiti on a garage door and the hood of a car. Residents were told to shelter in place. As the news helicopter came around the house, the man could be seen on the ground, his rifle next to him. A police sharpshooter took him down.
Sniper respond to the shot, so he's down in the driveway right now. Still moving.
The suspect is listed in serious condition tonight. There is still no known motive. Police say it's just lucky no one else was hurt. David?
Neil Karlinski with us tonight. Thank you, Neil. And from Florida this evening, a chilling plot foiled. A convicted felon on probation back behind bars tonight, accused of plotting to plant bombs in several Target stores, hiding them in packages of pasta, breakfast bars, and stuffing mix. His reason? The arresting agents say to force Target's stock price down and then to buy it cheap. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, a Florida man faces federal charges accused of plotting a sinister spree to blow up 10 Target stores along the East Coast. Investigators say Mark Burnett hid the bombs in packaged food. They found explosive materials at his Ocala, Florida home, alarming neighbors.
It's terrifying to hear.
According to the arresting documents, the 48-year-old offered someone $10,000 to put the bombs on the shelves inside Target stores. The plan put one in each state, from New York down to Florida. But that person went straight to police, sending Barnett straight to jail.
Using those destructive devices in that manner could have potentially been very, if you will, catastrophic.
His motive? A bizarre money scheme. Authorities say Barnett wanted to drive Target stock down with the bombing so he could buy it on the cheap, setting him up for a profit when the stock recovered.
David, Barnett asked for help because he was wearing an ankle monitor tracking his every move. He was already on probation for multiple felonies. David?
Eva Pilgrim with us tonight. Eva, thank you. And as we mentioned, that breaking story in the west at this hour, the storm's hitting. So let's go back to meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking this for us tonight. Hey, Rob.
David, the southern half of the state is feeling the brunt of this powerful storm with waves, rain, and winds gusting to over 80 miles an hour. Look at this thing from outer space, a classic comma. It is a fierce, large monster, and it will drive inland overnight. So the brunt of the heaviest rain will be over probably by midnight, but a lot's going to come down in a short period of time, and winds will continue to be strong, diminishing somewhat tomorrow, but showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. And we've already had reports of over a half a foot in Santa Barbara County. We'll likely see that to the south, so mudslides are going to be a huge threat. And during the day tomorrow, these waves will continue to pound the coast with another storm coming in on Sunday. David?
You'll be tracking it through the weekend, Rob. Our thanks to you tonight. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Friday. The murder mystery involving those two girls in the woods in the middle of the country tonight. The new headline coming in. Authorities launching a raid searching for clues, and we have new details on those tips coming in. Also, the hit and run on the highway. The man running into traffic, surviving after flipping over the hood of that car. Why he was trying to stop another driver. And that close call we reported on involving actor Harrison Ford and that 737. New tonight here, the audio of Ford at the controls of his plane. We'll be right back.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid.